everyone, this is Anna Montemurno. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have two special guests. There they are, my 13-year-old French Bulldog and my very bestest friend, Renee Rollins. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to cook Yucatan shrimp. Right now, we have about a tablespoon of butter in a small saucepan. I use fresh Gulf shrimp. I'm going to link a description. In the description down below, I'm going to link the New York Times article where the actual recipe was listed in New York Times Magazine. So you'll have the exact ingredients. I actually changed it up a little bit. So if you need exact measurements, check the description down below for the exact measurements. But in this, I have about a tablespoon of butter in the saucepan. Now I'm going to add the garlic. I have about 3 tablespoons of garlic. And I'm going to give it a little bit more heat. A pot of salted water to boil the shrimp. Give it a little bit more heat and get the butter and the garlic going a little to get that sort of in a little saute. And you can actually smell the garlic. It's starting to, can you smell it? By the way, there's a French Bulldog here with me. He's been appointed the kitchen supervisor. He's doing a very good job. So now we're going to give a little bit more heat and we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of butter. The recipe itself calls for unsalted, but I like salt, so I'm adding salted butter, 3 tablespoons. And cooking down into deliciousness. Now, in this recipe, I highly suggest that you use the exact ingredients of what I'm talking about. As far as the shrimps, I highly advise you use fresh Gulf USA shrimp if it's at all possible, because there's a very big difference between frozen and unshelled shrimp. You want to use the shelled shrimps, and there's a reason for that. And also, you want to use this particular chili paste sauce. It's called Sanibel Island, and it's Indonesian. And you can get it at any Asian markets or at your good grocery stores. The ones that carry all ethnic foods, they should have it. But in the recipe, it calls for a tablespoon, but I don't know anybody that's going to use a tablespoon with 4 servings. I like hot. This recipe is a bit on the spicy side, although the lime juice actually cuts down the spice. If I really want to impress people, I cook this dish. It's actually, if you look it up in the recipe from the New York Times that's in the description, you will see that out of 1,188 people, the recipe got 5 stars out of 5 stars. So I'm not fooling. So now we're going to put in the Sanibel Island ground fresh chili paste. I'm putting 3 or 4 tablespoons. I don't know where they're getting 1 tablespoon, but nobody I know or anybody that I hang out with, they don't eat 1 tablespoon. In fact, I might even add more to it. So that's the chili paste, and with the butter. And now we're going to add, this is got to be about 4 tablespoons of fresh chopped jalapeno peppers without the seeds. That goes in with the juice of 3 fresh squeezed limes. Then we're going to give it like medium heat for like a couple of minutes and let it get some. And I have the water boiling for the shrimpies. And as you can look at the beautiful shrimps, how beautiful they are. But don't forget, you want to get this. Make sure it's got the green lid. Don't take any imposters. You want this sauce, trust me. Sanibel Island ground fresh chili paste. I know I'm butchering the name, but I am not from Thailand, so forgive me for that. And by the way, did I mention we have a guest? We have a guest who's gonna sample, who's gonna taste this recipe. Actually, this guest has eaten this dish about 16 times, maybe 17 times. Maybe not even that many, but all I know is when I asked my friend Renee to come over, she gladly accepted and just didn't hesitate on it. I'm taking these bad boys. And by the way, the recipe calls for pounds of shrimp. I have 1.5 pounds because we like leftovers, believe it or not. So let's get these bad boys in. Actually, we're going commando. We're just throwing these in, just like that. Well salted water. And our sauce is on a simmer. Now, when this sauce starts to permeate in the air, it's incredible. And remember, the Gulf Coast of Florida, I actually went to this restaurant after a sun-kissed day at the beach, all sandy, a little bit of sunburn, and had a nice cool seltzer. I don't drink, so I had a nice seltzer with lemon or lime. And then I ordered this, and we sat there. It was like the perfect summer. It was the perfect ending to a perfect summer beach day. And this dish, because we're just about at the end of summer, I highly advise you to get these Gulf shrimp and try this recipe out. So we've got our shrimp going. Now what we're going to do is take the sauce and put it to the side and let it rest. Let it rest so that we get ready for the shrimpies. So we have the shrimp all boiled up with the shells on. You see how beautiful they are? Pink and beautiful. And the sauce, the finishing touch was about 3 tablespoons of cilantro after the sauce is completed and rested. So I added that to it. So we are going to get organized and plate this up. Hear the song in the background? That's pretty cool, isn't it? The shrimp is starting to burrow. So the reason you would want to use shell on shrimp is that the sauce gets in between the shrimp and just makes the flavor so incredible when you peel the shrimp. It's a messy dish, so get ready and get a whole bunch of napkins, but I think you'll really enjoy it. It's worth the work. Hello everyone, we're back. And this is my very good friend, Renee Rowlands, who has graciously volunteered to taste test Yucatan shrimp. And by the way, she has a little friend there. He usually steals food all the time, so we decided, instead of having him steal food, we decided to invite him in on it. So Renee, would you give us a try on that delicious Yucatan shrimp and let me know what you think of it?
Absolutely.
And the French Bulldog is sitting there.
Yeah, he's down
waiting.
there. He wants some.
I saved him a couple of plain shrimpies.
This is gonna be delicious. Okay, here we go.
Ready?
So good. I can totally picture this on after a nice sunny day.
At the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, If you're interested in the recipe, please look at the description down below. It's an actual recipe, again, that comes from Doc Ford's in Sanibel Island, Florida, Captiva Island, in the Fort Myers area of the Gulf of Florida. The recipe is not my original recipe. If you're interested, I'll have the recipe linked in the description down below. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Over and out. Ciao for now, and we'll see you in the next video.